Welcome to yet another episode of CxO Global TV's Tech Talk, one of our signature programs related to tech. Now, what is CxO Global? The CxO Global Forum Network is an invitation only membership exclusively for CIOs, CTOs, CMOs, CFOs, CEOs, COOs, country heads, the world's most influential companies. They're brought together by top journal editors, global analysts, and key thought leaders with a mission to identify key challenges in technology and new opportunities for innovation that will unlock value for their organizations, and not just their organizations, but also create that sustainable future based on innovation and disruption that all of us are so looking forward to. The forum is getting global exposure, especially in digital transformation and innovation around the globe. Uh, in our attempt of internationalization, every week with the CEO Tech Talks, CxO Tech Talks in particular, we do invite international speakers. And today as well, we've got Massimo here from SGBox. So, welcome to the show, Massimo.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting
Right?
me.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Massimo, it's very interesting that you are the founder of SGBox, and um, we wanted to talk about SIEM today, SIEM.
Yeah.
And before we begin, can you tell the audience a little about yourself? Just a couple of lines.
Oh, yes, I will. Well, I'm the founder of the SGBox. I am the IT market from about 35 years. So I'm so
Mhm.
old, unfortunately. And yeah, we founded SGBox as we have a security software vendor, and we focus our development on the SIEM solutions.
So was this the vision behind SGBox? Like, when did you come up with the SGBox? What was the thought process behind it? Why did you identify this gap in the market? What did you see?
Well, yeah, okay. When we started the SGBox project many years ago, we were sure at that time the scene was approaching the market. It was entering the market, but we were sure that in the next years they will become the main element for the security operation, and of course even for the compliance with the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
And the adoption of the SIEM will not have been just for the big enterprises, but also for the small, medium enterprises. In
Right,
fact,
absolutely.
uh,
Because yes, when we talk about security and all these kind of solutions, especially SIEM solutions, well, the first thing that comes to mind is that it's probably a luxury only for big corporations or MNCs and FMCGs. But yeah, maybe you can shed some light into that as well. So when you were coming up with the idea, with the concept of SG Box,
yeah,
uh,
you're right. At the beginning, it was designed for the big enterprises. Then, with the something happened. Firstly, in Europe, because we approved the GDPR. The
right,
GDPR changed
compliance.
our region, and now this privacy regulation is being spread all over the world, because
Mm-hmm.
the Brazil is adopting a similar GDPR to Turkey, and I think in the next future many countries will adopt this regulation, and this is opening the market to the mid-sized and also little enterprises. So they need to adopt such solution to be compliant, because the GDPR includes some checks for the security, and all those companies must adopt a SIEM. But now the SIEM, the current the first wave solutions were thought for the big enterprises. The small medium enterprises have different needs. They are looking for cost-effective solution, easy to
Yes, cost
manage.
effective solutions.
Yeah, that's the fact.
Absolutely.
So we
What
designed.
exactly is SIEM? Max, before we go on further, I would like to ask you, for the knowledge of our audience, what exactly is SIEM?
Oh well, SIEM. Well, in general, is SIEM platform centrally collects data from multiple devices on the network. Any, I will say any device, including the security solutions like firewall, antivirus, and so on. And then through an advanced correlation engine, it is able to identify security events and correlate. So the SIEM collect all the information and try to find anomalies using the analysis tool that is included in the SIEM platforms.
Yeah, and this is real-time data analysis with historical data and everything. We can just put everything together and then base business decisions on it.
Yeah, of course. Then you can the historical data is very important because you not always identify problems, threats in real time, but sometimes it happens that you discover after months. Then you have to be able to analyze also the historical data to understand what exactly happened on your network. And it is very important to make your decision to increase your security, looking at the dashboard, at the SIEM data.
Right, absolutely. So it's actually security information and event management and SIEM. So what happens is that most of the times, as I understand cybersecurity, there's always two teams. One team that is, identifying potential threats and challenges, and the other that's playing more on the back front and being offensive. But that is the current technology that we have. What is next generation SIEM? The topic of today. So what is the next generation security information and event management?
Yeah, okay. The first SIEM was, the analysis was made just with the fixed correlation rules. So yes, they are very important, but they are based on on fixed rules. You cannot do the rules to identify any kind of bad activity. The next generation SIEM based their analysis on the correlation rules, but even on other techniques to identify the threats or any anomalies. For example, the machine learning techniques.
Machine learning techniques.
Yeah. The solution, the machine learning do an analysis of the traffic and do a baseline of the events collected from the user, from the machines, and then identify the difference between the normal behavior. So without
any anomaly.
Yes, so without describing any rules, automatically it can identify anomalies.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Then you have contextual enrichment. You can get alerts from the correlation from the SIEM, and then you have to understand if it is a serious threat or it's just noise. And a security analyst needs to do a lot of manual investigation, many times across multiple screens and database. And next generation SIEM enriches the data, adding additional information. For example, information about the user, the asset, the IP addresses, or the geolocalization, or the vulnerability scan results. So the modern SIEM also embed some vulnerability scan engine as well, just to enrich all the information about the threats.
Right, absolutely, and it's quite inspiring that such systems are becoming more and more smarter. So that also does lessen a lot of the human error that we experienced earlier, like by physically interpreting the data.
Actually, I didn't get because I had headphones problem. I did.
Okay.
Can you?
Yes, I said it's very interesting how these systems
Yeah.
are getting smarter by the day,
Yeah.
and it really removes or minimizes human error at a lot of points
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's
But
come. Yeah, sorry, go on.
yeah, I think there are many other important things that identify an NGCM, a next generation CM. For example, how the cost is calculated. Normally, the SIEM, the first wave SIEM, are based on the volume of the data. And you know, they let you pay. They ask to be paid basing on the total amount of data that you are collecting. Okay.
Absolutely.
So they are priced by throughput or events per second or storage. Well, this forces the security analyst to try to forecast how much data will be generated, okay? And you have to make your decisions if you want to save money. But it's completely in opposition of the SIEM philosophy. The SIEM must collect any data to be more effective on the analysis. So we think that the NGCM must be based not on the total storage that you have, that you collect, but on the IPs that are just the IPs that are sending logs, regardless of the total amount of the data that you are collecting. This is very important to save money for the user and to make more effective on the analysis and on identified threats.
Right. Perfect. But now, Max, one of the big areas of concern is what exactly what makes these networks vulnerable? So there could be like some malware, or what makes networks vulnerable?
Okay, this is very complex because yes, all the networks, even large organization or small, can be hacked or attacked.
Yeah.
And there are many different kinds of attack. Some hacking techniques are focused on finding vulnerabilities into the devices and exploiting that vulnerability to gain control of the machine. There are other kind of attacks overwhelming a natural ability to handle traffic by flooding. This is called the DOS or DDoS attack, denial of service attack. How to say? Well, so you have many techniques, and vulnerabilities then may come from poor or improper configuration of a network, hardware or software flaws, or operational weakness. So to prevent those problems, what you can do, first of all, you have to configure properly all your devices, firewall, server, and whatever. You must be properly configured. And then you have to keep your operating system or devices up to date. So you have to patch to guarantee the maximum level of the patches over your devices.
Right.
Then, yes, please tell me.
Also, yeah, I was just going to say that we also need to be able to detect these threats, analyze them, and maybe, also see if there's any unauthorized changes in any sensitive data, if there is, any network breaches. So, yeah, I believe so. SIEM can play a very important role in tracking and analyzing all of this data and all the network breaches that are there.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little further about the fact that we have been aware in Pakistan and in some of the emerging markets, people are still unaware of the importance of platforms like SIEM. However, how important do you think it is to create that narrative? How important is networking and collaborations for growth in these businesses?
Yes, in my opinion, it's very important. I think that the importance of a reliable partnership and networks is growing, is mandatory to grow the business. I think for any business, the ability to establish effective and also bilateral partnership with a wide range of other businesses is essential, especially if you are a small company. And in fact, for smaller business, getting the attention of new customer can be, I think, difficult. But if you do a networking or collaboration, it's easier because you can share investment in knowledge or you can have many advantages, like sharing. You can share ideas. You can access to industry developments and technology. You can engage with other trusted industry contacts. So we have a huge quantity of benefits.
Absolutely. And, it's very interesting how technology has now enabled all of us, even sitting in different continents, to really create that bridge and, work together, grow together. It's very important for businesses. If the pandemic has taught all of us one thing, it's been that during all of last year or the last 12 to 14 months, some businesses suffered very heavy losses while other they had skyrocketed sales. And one thing that was common was that there was a lot of learning for all those that were involved. Some businesses had to adapt to a more agile environment and so on and so forth. What has the pandemic taught you, Massimo?
Well, I think there are some aspects, not only technological. Firstly, let me say I think that the family matters more than we realized, because I have now in mind all the images for the older person living alone and having to struggle with the virus. And this is changing our way to operate with the older people. Or if we realize a revolution in medicine. In 6 months they did the antivirus, and this is a big lesson, because this is connecting to the previous topic. They did networking, they shared information, they shared ideas, and this works. And this worked to generate new vaccines to fight this big problem. And if you want to get closer with the technology, well, we experienced an increased use of the technological instrument. For example, before the pandemic crisis, we used to get to the market to buy anything, but now digital solutions is the first choice. So this is expanding for example, the electronic market.
Okay. Sorry, go on.
Then the pandemic is influenced also the market of the work. By working from home, more jobs are becoming non-location specific. So millions, this is our experience as well. Millions of workers, enterprises have learned that the people could be productive as they are in the office. So right. This is opening the market, is globalizing the market.
Right.
So I have not to be local.
So it's like, revisiting the whole social contract as well, and how we look at, sustainability in business, how we look at job securities, how there's a lot of sustainable future talk that's there in all our conversations, because everyone needs to think of ways that they can contribute and also become irreplaceable in the business, in markets in general. However, my question to you, Massimo, and unfortunately we've reached the end of the session, so I'm going to make this short. But what's in store for the future, like in terms of SGBox, or what innovation can we expect in the next 10 years for SIEM?
Well, I expect the SIEM will, I think, it will be more or less remain the same, but with new features. What will be changing is the application of the SIEM. There are emerging new markets that are very interesting and very, for example, the Internet medical things. The patient care industry is benefiting from an increase in technology progresses. So
Right.
electronic health records or healthcare application and all the medical connected devices improving. So the doctor will do the diagnosis from remote, but this is introducing security problems, of course, and privacy problems as well. So the SIEM must be so flexible to interpret these new market segments. And in my opinion, the SIEM will be in the future will be just managed from the MSSPs, because the SIEM is a
Absolutely.
very complex. So the customer, the enterprises don't want to invest money to learn another technology, and then you have to find a specific qualification of your employees to manage such a solution. So the trend will be to go in the cloud. The cloud is no longer an experiment. This is a fact. This is essential for the future, to save money, to optimize the cost, and to increase your security. I think this is the future.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the future is here and now. There's a lot of talk of cloudification. Do look into solutions like SIEM. SGBox is doing some amazing work, not just for big corporations, but also solutions for SMEs and startups as well. And Massimo, thank you so much for joining us today. And a
Thank
big
you to
shout
you.
out to you for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone wants to learn more about Massimo and the kind of work that SGBox is involved in, please get in touch with us. You can find him on LinkedIn as well. And let me also give this big shout out to our member, Mr. Hasan Zuberi, who's joined us from EliteVAD Dubai. And he's one of the people who conceptualize the CxO Tech Talks with us. So he's always very forthcoming and very contributing to the knowledge economy. So thank you so much, gentlemen,
Thanks,
for
Anza.
joining
Thank
us.
you.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
we'll see you. We will keep seeing more of you, Massimo, and we hope to learn from you. And maybe you can help us collaborate with more businesses in Pakistan and worldwide.
I hope
Thank
so.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Anza.
so much
Thank you,
for your
everybody.
Thank you.
time.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Massimo. Thanks, Anza.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for another episode next time. Another very interesting take on CxO Tech Talks. Till then, take care of yourselves and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Lovely day. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.